how are you? So it's BBC Newcastle, radio for the North East you are listening to right now. Thank you for doing that, by the way. My name's Lisa Shaw. Lovely day out there, dry, sunny, warm, highs of about 23 Celsius. The very, very small chance of the odd light shower here and there, but let's keep our fingers crossed that does not happen. Now, this is a really interesting topic to talk about. Do you believe in mediums? Well, the latest work from a Wearside playwright is all about what happens when clairvoyants' careers start to fade. There's someone coming through. We'll be at Northern Stage this Halloween, but to get it there, both the writer, Lee Stewart, and actor Michael Luke spent some time in North East spiritualist venues as part of their research for the production. And they've very kindly come into the studio to tell me all about it. Good morning to you, Lee and Michael.
Good morning, Lisa.
Now, that sounds interesting, spending a little bit of time in these spiritualist venues. As the writer, I guess, Lee, that was really, really important. You have to get a grounding, you have to get an idea about what it's all about.
Absolutely. If you're going to write about a topic, you've got to sort of get as much information and understanding as you can, really.
Had you been to a medium before? Was this something you were interested in?
Actually, yes. I've paid money. I've been to spiritualist churches. I've seen Colin Fry live on the stage, and me and my wife used to love Most Haunted for many, many years.
So are you a believer then? Or were you a believer?
Yes and no.
Uh-huh.
It's a great prospect. I mean, what the thought of meeting up possibly with your loved ones that's passed. It's a great, proposition.
Yeah. And what made you want to write this play then?
Well, I've written a few plays so far, and I always thought it was a good topic because it's always going to provoke some sort of, conversation around that subject because there are believers, there are non-believers. So I just thought, give it a go, and actually came up with the title first because they always have these lines, there's someone coming through. So, and it was from there the seed was sown, really.
And this is a really interesting premise because it focuses the play on a clairvoyant who's kind of lost their sparkle, if you like. They're not perhaps at the top of their game anymore.
Yeah.
And is there someone that you kind of looked at for a bit of inspiration? Because as soon as I was reading about this and thinking about it, I was thinking about Derek Acora.
Well, of course. I mean, you can't talk about spiritualisms and mediums without looking at the people at the top of the game back in the 90s and what have you, like him and Colin Fry, and as we mentioned earlier, Sally Morgan. So, it lends itself to that sort of type of person.
Yeah.
And so the character, will join that group of people, you see. And
Michael, of course, you play the lead character.
I do, a gentleman called Neville Vaughan, who is still very much wrapped up in his own self-importance. He's in his mindset, nothing's changed since his heyday in the 90s, but unfortunately it has. And the size of the audience has dwindled and the quality of the venues has got even worse as the years have passed. But he still believes he's up there.
So tell me about research that you have done then. I mentioned at the start there you went to a couple of venues. What sort of research have you done?
Yeah, well, a similar thing. I went across to see quite a few spiritualist events, and I've always been sceptical, really. As Lee says, it would be nice to believe, but I went to it with an open mind, very much so, because one thing we wanted to do with the play was, yes, it's a comedy and it's fun and it's funny, but it's not a spoof and it's not a farce, and we are aware that it deals with grief, and so there has to be an air of poignancy to it, which we very much think there is. Because one thing I noticed when we went along to these venues is that, the people were going there, if nothing else, they wanted comfort and reassurance. Mm-hmm. So it's a very sensitive subject, and we certainly don't mock anybody for it. And I think it's more aimed at an element of various charlatans involved in that industry.
Yeah, because I think you've got, yeah, exactly. There are a lot of people who believe so strongly in clairvoyancy and spiritualism, absolutely. But there are those people out there that perhaps aren't 100%, real with it.
And I think that's what we're poking fun at, rather than the people who are going there for a bit of comfort and reassurance.
So tell me about maybe some of the mannerisms that you've picked up on, Michael.
Well, I mean, I think Neville's sitting outside. I can go and...
Neville's outside now. The clairvoyant Neville is actually there. You bring him in.
Yeah, I'll go and get him.
Absolutely, bring him in. I mean, come and just open that door there and bring him in. And come on in, Neville.
Hello, Lisa. Neville Vaughan here. Now, it's nice to be back on radio. It would be nice to be back on television, but, baby steps.
OK, well, do you want to do a reading on me, maybe?
I would love to do a reading. I can sense, actually, the spirits are very strong in here, so... Let's give this a go, shall we? Live on air, Neville Vaughan. Okay, right. There's someone coming through from spirit world. A man. And as he's coming closer to me, I'm hearing him clairaudiently saying letter S. That's all I'm hearing, Lisa. S. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes. Well, I've got a friend called Stephen.
Steve, that's it. We got there, Steve.
But he's still alive.
What?
He's not dead. He's not on the other side. He's still here.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. I'll just communicate. Yeah, Steve's granddad.
Steve's
he is dead, isn't he?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I misheard him when he said the spirit. That's all that was. So. Okay, now, what I'm going to do to take this to the next level of transcendence is I'm going to get in touch with my spirit guide, Christos.
Right.
Now, Christos has been my kindred companion since I was a child, so let me see if Christos is among us. Christos? Are you with me? Excellent. Okay, everyone. We're live. Christos is among us. Right now, come on, Christos. Bring the spirit closer to me. That's it. That's it. Not too close. Oh, hang on. No. Hang on. He's trying to manifest himself through my physical being.
Don't be manifesting. That freaks me out. Let's not have a manifestation.
I am no longer Neville. I am now Simon's granddad. And I just want to give a message to you, Lisa. Just want to let you know we're very proud of you getting on radio and all that. Even though we're not related to you in any way, shape or form.
And his name was Stephen before.
Stephen, I mean. That's right. It's my hearing aid, you see. That's what threw me off.
Oh, brilliant.
Now, if you could tell Stephen or Simon, whatever the bleeding hell he was called, that we love him too, that would be very nice. So we'll say ta-ra. Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Oh, I'm back. Oh.
That was amazing.
Oh, that was very strange.
That was amazing.
You could feel them in the room.
Couldn't you, though? Couldn't you?
Amazing.
Well, there you go. There's just a teeny tiny taste of what you can expect on the evening. So tell us all about it. Thank you very much, Neville, by the way.
That's okay. Now, I'd just like to say I look forward to seeing everyone at Northern Stage in Newcastle. But for now, I shall say goodbye. God bless. And may their love surround you always. Thank you.
There you go. Neville, thank you so much for that. And thank you very much, Lee, for coming in, and to you, Michael, as well. Sorry we didn't get time to chat enough to you.
That's okay. Well, I passed Neville in the hall, so he looked like he'd just reached the crossroads of transcendence.
That's pretty much
so
what happened.
Sounds like he was more entertaining than I ever would be.
Pretty much what happened there. There's someone coming through Northern Stage this Halloween and All Saints Day as well on November the 1st. Special warm-up show at Washington Arts Centre on October the 26th as well. It's BBC Newcastle Radio.